Hey guys, Dano here with MAKO Spearguns. In this video, I'll show you how to choose the best Freedive weight belt and go over some important safety tips along the way. But before I get started, I first want to tell you about a free replacement policy. If you ever have to ditch your MAKO weight belt in an emergency, I will replace it free of charge. In an emergency, you shouldn't be considering the replacement cost. Just ditch it. I'll replace your belt and your weights. So the first thing when choosing a Freedive weight belt is to make sure it has a 100% stainless steel Marsseilles style buckle with a quick release pin. Stainless steel buckles are far superior to plastic buckles because they won't break. Also, when choosing the best Freedive weight belt, make sure the pin sits up at an angle when the belt is not in use. This is extremely important because this is what gives the buckle its quick release feature so you can ditch your belt in an emergency. If your belt has a pin that sits flat, then it lacks the quick release feature. So don't use it, cut it up, and throw it out. To ditch your belt in an emergency, you simply pull on the overhang and let go. Let's watch that again as professional Freedive instructor Piper Goebel from Jupiter, Florida demonstrates how the spring-like action of the pin releases and stays released, allowing the belt to drop. As for the material, the best Freedive weight belts are made of either silicone or rubber. That's because they're designed to stretch so they can be worn tight below the waist so as to not restrict your diaphragmatic breathing. This means longer and deeper dives with increased safety. Additionally, when at depth, your wetsuit and your body compress to a smaller diameter. But since your Freedive belt compensates for this compression, the belt stays tight to your body and doesn't flop around. Now, in deciding which material is right for you, rubber or silicone, let's consider how much weight you'll need based on the thickness of your suit. The thicker your suit, the more weight you will need. Rubber belts work great if you're diving shirtless up to and including a super thick 7mm suit, whereas the silicone belts stretch more than rubber. That's why they're used by top Freedive instructors, Freedive competitors, and high-level spearfishermen. However, if you're wearing a 7mm suit, the silicone belt might be too stretchy. So while rubber works well from shirtless up to and including a 7mm suit, the silicone belt is more of a high-performance belt when diving shirtless up to and including a 5mm suit. Now I would like to discuss with you an important safety issue regarding the use of a scuba belt while free diving. As you can see, the scuba belt made of nylon webbing doesn't stretch at all, so it doesn't compensate for compression and it flops around at depth. So scuba divers wear them high around the stomach. This is extremely dangerous for free divers because it limits your breathe up prior to your descent, and even worse, it reduces the amount of air that you can take in upon resurfacing. So if you're a free diver, don't use a scuba belt. And if you're a scuba diver, you too would benefit by using a Freedive belt. Another thing to look for when choosing the best Freedive weight belt is the length. Make sure your belt is long enough to accommodate your weights plus sufficient overhang. You must have sufficient overhang for you and your dive buddy to release your belt in an emergency. Now let's take a look at the different types of weights to see how they affect the overhang. Here we have the three different types of weights. We have the conventional weights, we have the pinch weights, and the MAKO quick weights. When installing the conventional weights, the belt doesn't pass directly through, so each 2-pound weight eats up about 1 inch of belt length, and each 4-pound weight eats up about 1.5 inches. So the more conventional weights you install, the shorter your belt becomes. However, when installing the MAKO pinch weights and the MAKO quick weights, the belt goes straight through, so you can put on as many as you like and it won't change the length of your belt. And the cool thing about these MAKO quick weights is that you can install them and remove them without removing your belt. You can even do it while you're in the water. So whatever type of weights you use, don't cut off too much overhang before you install the maximum number of weights you'll be using. Otherwise, you might cut off too much overhang. I'd like a minimum of 2 to 3 hand widths of overhang. And please, for safety reasons, never tuck your overhang under your belt. It puts you and your dive buddy at risk. Now, speaking of safety, notice the first thing I install on my belt is my line cutter. I prefer the nylon holster instead of the plastic holster because it sits lower on my belt, which allows me to wear it closer to my front side so I can get to it with either hand. As for the price, because MAKO only sells direct to you, the diver, there's no dive shop markup and there's no reseller markup. So our high quality Freedive belts with a 100% stainless steel Marsseilles style buckle actually costs less than belts with plastic buckles. In addition to offering the highest quality weight belts, we also offer a full line of weight belt accessories such as crotch straps, flashlight holsters, belt reels, spike stringers, hoop stringers, knives and line cutters, as well as D-rings and double enders for attach and catch bags. Well, thanks guys for taking time to view this. For more information on our Freedive weight belts as well as our full line of high-performance spearfishing gear, please visit our website at MAKOSpearguns.com. Dive safe.